Hmm. 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 What am I going to write about? What am I going to write about? There's so many things I know about, but what am I going to write about? What am I going to write about? Oh, hello. Here we go. You ready to help me out with this one? All right, this says, getting ready to write. And this is a little song we've sung before in class, but I'm going to remind you so that you do not forget one of the most important parts of writing, the plan, getting ready to write. There's a few things you need to do. I'm not just going to give you a piece of paper and a pencil and say, write. Write what, Mr. Dowd? What am I supposed to write? Everything you need to write is in here, hiding under your fancy hairstyle like mine. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to think, tell your story, make a plan, write your story for everyone to read. And it could be a true story, a personal narrative, or in this case, it's going to be a how-to. All right, so here I go. Getting ready to write. Think. What do I know how to do? What do I know how? I've got it. I was thinking about something I know how to do and that I love doing. I love going to the beach. I love taking my kids to the Alameda Beach or many other beaches we've been to. Luckily, it's been pretty fun to go explore. But one thing I know how to do, make a sandcastle. All right, so I'm thinking about it. Think. Let's see, can I think of the steps? It's the first thing what do I need to bring with me? If I'm going to build a sandcastle, I might need to have some tools. What kind of sand tools do I need? I better think more. Okay, think about it. Okay, bucket, shovel, maybe a little sifter. Maybe some buckets that are shaped like castles. Those are kind of fun. Or maybe I'll use the same bucket to collect objects I find on the beach, like shells or rocks. Okay. Okay, now what do I do next? Let me think about this. Okay, and then, so I make sure I've got wet sand. I need wet sand. And then I kind of scoop up the wet sand and pack it in, take it to where I'm building my castle, maybe flip the bucket over, and pat it on top, and then slowly pull it up and see if the sandcastle shape is there. You know what's going to help me? I need to tell my story. Now, it's not a story, it's a how-to, but I still sing it like that. So I'm going to tell somebody. So first, think. I'm going to write how to build a sand castle. All right, that's going to be what I'm writing. How to build a sand castle. Okay, tell your story. Okay, now, I don't have anyone right here to tell my story to, but I'm going to pretend. Okay, so here comes my friend. Hello, friend. I'll pretend it's my good friend Greg. I've told you about Greg. So Greg comes in, he's like, hey, what you doing, Mr. Dowd? And I say, well, Greg, I'm teaching my students about how to. So let me go ahead and tell you what I'm going to write for my how to. And he'll say, cool, I'll listen. And then maybe I'll ask questions. All right, so here we go. All right, so Greg, first get what you need. You need to make sure you're at the beach where there's a lot of sand and water, and you need to have a bucket and you need to have a shovel. Now you can just use those two things, but you also probably need to find some shells, and you need to find things to decorate your castle with. Let's see. Oh, you also probably need sunscreen because you're going to be outside. So I could add that on there. Now, here's what's happening right now. Room 2. When I tell someone my how-to, my brain is actually thinking really hard about the steps. This is why this part is so important. Tell your story. is really important. Plus, that way, whoever you're telling your story to, they can say to you, wait, I'm sorry, I feel confused. Can you explain that differently? Or they might say to you, can you give me more details? I'm a little confused. And then you might think, oh yeah, you're right. You know what? I left something really important out. So it's really good. It's a very, very good thing to tell someone your story or your how-to. Make sure you do that. Think about it. Don't touch the paper. Ne touche pas. Do not touch the paper. What you should do is turn and find someone in your family, probably a grown-up, and tell them. And then they can ask you questions to help you plan. Super duper important. Okay. So I'll pretend that I just finished telling Greg, and then he asked me, well, what do you do if your castle falls down? Well, friend Greg, what I could do is I could go and get more water down at the beach very carefully, or I could get wet sand and then pack it up to my sandcastle. Maybe I should write that. Warning! Don't let the sand get too dry. I'm so glad I told my friend that story. That really helped me. All right, don't skip that step. Make a plan. Now for that one, you see me do hand motions like this. Make a plan, or I go, make a plan. And what I'm saying to you is touch your paper. Really think hard. What drawing is going to go on that page? What words are going to go under that center, on that sentence, under that picture? So what's the drawing going to be? What words will match the picture? What labels can you put on that picture? Is it a question mark sentence? Is it a period? Is it an exclamation point? Make a plan. That way you can also tell your family how many pieces of paper you need, because you'll say, whew, my how-to book actually has 7 steps. First, next, then, after that, all the way to finally. So I need to make a plan for what each of my steps is going to be. Make a plan. Got it? Make a plan. All right. Finally, write your story for everyone to read. Okay, so first you think. What are you going to write about? Think about it. Think. What's it going to be? I'm thinking. Maybe you're touching your forehead. You're thinking, what's it going to be? And you've got these great ideas. And then you need to tell your story. So you need to find somebody who's going to listen with their ears. And you're going to tell your story. Of course, you've got ears too, because you're going to need to listen to their questions, what they ask you. All right? So tell your story while they listen. And then make a plan. That's when you've got your different pieces of paper. You're saying, okay, this will be first, next, then, all the way however many you need. It depends on what you're teaching. But always, the last step is called, did you say first? No. Did you say then? After that? No. Finally? Finally. Yes. Finally. And remember, finally has the word final. And final means last. Okay. And then the last part is get to it. Start writing. Write your story for everyone to read. All right? Think. Tell your story. Make a plan. Write your story for everyone to read. All right? I think I've only missed that like maybe 5 times in all my teaching. I guess that's number 6. Have fun writing. Think, think, think. Tell your story. Make a plan. Write your story for everyone to read. Have a great time.